There's still a lot of time left for retirement. I don't know when you're specifically retiring, but this is time that you can sort of supercharge your retirement by making those catch-up contributions. Again, remember the rules change in 2026. If you make $145,000 or more the previous year, you are going to have to make all of your catch-up contributions into the after-tax bucket of a Roth 401k. A recent study by Investopedia found that only 14% of men from the age of 45 to 60 felt as though they were on track for retirement. So in a short video today, I'm simply going to break down the power of catch-up contributions and how you can use them to your benefit if you're age 50 or over, you're still at your workplace and you're still contributing to your retirement accounts. If you're someone who feels as though you are behind in saving for retirement, whatever that means for you, know that a lot of times you do have time left and you do have extra capabilities now to you. It's just it's important to know what they are. So I want to lay those out for you today, because I know that we have a lot of clients who spent years pouring into their business, pouring into themselves, pouring into most of all their family and their kids, and allowing them to have a great education and so forth. And now it's time to focus on retirement, right? We often have this conversation when we talk about investing in a 529 or investing in retirement. And sometimes folks go one more way towards the 529 compared to retirement. So now it's time to focus on you. Let's talk about retirement catch-up contributions. Put simply, once you hit the age of 50, you now have the opportunity to make catch-up contributions. This is $7,500 in 2025 on top of the $23,500 that you're already allowed to make to, say, your 401k or your employer-sponsored plan. Now, know that starting next year, there's a couple of things that change around catch-up contributions, but for now, you can make that full contribution and you can make the extra contribution. And let me even show you this. This is a special catch-up contribution for those between the ages of 60 to 63. And you can do what's known as a special catch-up contribution. So it's like a special, and that's $11,250. So if you're in between the age of 60 and 63, know that that is available to you. But now let's talk about what's changing next year. So starting in 2026, they're splitting two groups of people in how you can make your catch-up contribution. So if you make above $145,000, you move into a new group where you can only do special catch-up contributions or any catch-up contributions at all into a Roth 401k, right? So that after-tax account. If you're not familiar with a Roth 401k, it's essentially going to be very similar, only the money, the assets that you're moving into that account are all going to be after tax, meaning that it's going to be added to your taxable income for the year. But hold the phone, it's not the worst thing in the world. There are plenty of benefits to a Roth account. So with a Roth 401k, a Roth IRA, you might already know that these are tax-free in retirement. So a lot of folks, of course, in retirement have a large 401k built up and not so much on the Roth side. So this might be to your benefit. If you have any questions about this, please feel free to reach out to me, or please feel free to watch. Of course, I have a video on Roth accounts as well. But no, starting next year in 2026, any of those catch-up contributions are going to have to go to a Roth 401k. They actually intended to do this in 2024. They found that most people couldn't contribute to a Roth 401k. So the IRS, being so friendly as they are, gave us 2 extra years from 24 to 26 now in order to get this sort of into effect. Sorry, when I say making $145,000, this is a look back. So it's the previous year. If you made $145,000 in 2025, then you're going to be in that group that can only contribute to a Roth 401k with those special catch-up contributions. So 2 more things before you go. One is the importance of knowing other ways to reduce your taxable income if you are in that group that is above $145,000. I have a video that is specific on this, but let me just give you a few quick ones here. So if you're in a state that allows for you to make a contribution to your child's 529 plan, and that's available to you, that's a possible deduction you can take on a state basis. Again, not all states allow for a deduction, but if you're in a state that allows it, that's one of them. A health savings account, that's another one. And of course, your $23,500, so your regular contribution to your pre-tax account, is still going to be tax deductible. So that's something important to know. It may also be time to consider opening what's known as a brokerage account, which is simply a non-qualified account. It's not held at your employer. It's going to be separate, and this is going to be taxed and treated differently from a time perspective. So the biggest 2 things I'll point out here is that a taxable account, you're only taxed on the earnings. You put in after-tax dollars, and then you're only taxed when you withdraw that money on the earnings portion of however the money has been invested. Let's talk about the benefit of having tax diversification in retirement. As I just mentioned a moment ago, maybe it's not the worst thing in the world that you're forced to make contributions to after-tax accounts, because in retirement, the worst thing that we want to have is a tax time bomb where we have such a large pre-tax account like a 401k. When RMDs or required minimum distributions come in and we're forced to start withdrawing income, we don't want to have to build up our income too quickly and have to give away 35% of it to the government, which is something they'd be more than happy to take. So know that, of course, if you have a Roth IRA, if you have a taxable or brokerage account to go along with your pre-tax 401k, having that tax diversification can be helpful. So that's it. I just wanted to give you a quick update on your contributions and the power of taking advantage of these while you're in between that age, because with the Gen Xers, the age 45 to 60, there's still a lot of time left for retirement. I don't know when you're specifically retiring, but this is time that you can sort of supercharge your retirement by making those catch-up contributions. Again, remember the rules change in 2026. If you make $145,000 or more the previous year, you are going to have to make all of your catch-up contributions into the after-tax bucket of a Roth 401k. That doesn't go for the $23,500 or whatever it is when you're watching this, but know that you have some options on your hands here. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to me or comment below. I thank you for your viewership, and we'll see you next time.